Attorney General Bondi, why did you publicly claim to have the Epstein client list waiting for your review and then produce nothing relevant to that claim?
Senator Durbin, if you listen to my entire clip on that, I said I had not reviewed it yet, that it was sitting on my desk. Our memo on Epstein clearly points out that there was no client list, our July 6th memo. And, Senator Durbin, I find it very interesting that you refused repeated Republican requests to release the Epstein flight logs in 2023 and 2024.
That's true. That's true. What Pam Bondi said there at the very end is absolutely true, but let's keep it real. The United States Attorney General continues to be haunted by the fact that she is part of a massive Epstein files cover-up. And she had to contend with that fact today during a hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee. Now, questions about the Epstein files in particular made her real defensive. So Senator Dick Durbin, who you just heard from in that clip, questioned Bondi about reports back in July suggesting that FBI personnel were instructed to flag any records in the Epstein files that happened to mention President Donald Trump. Bondi responded the way someone part of a cover-up would respond. Let's take a look.
Who gave the order to flag records related to President Trump?
To flag records for President Trump?
To flag any records which included his name.
I'm not going to discuss anything about that with you, Senator.
Eventually, you're going to have to answer for your conduct in this. You won't do it today, but eventually you will. I yield, Mr. Chairman.
And her refusal to answer questions was the main theme of this Senate Judiciary hearing. So I have more clips, including her exchange with Sheldon Whitehouse and even some Republican senators. But before we get to that, Cenk.
Yeah, so two quick things about that. Dick Durbin's asking good questions, I appreciate it, but God, they're so soft, right? So she says, I will not answer that. I would have said, oh, okay, so you're covering it up. That makes sense, that's why I asked. Somebody's looking through the records trying to cover up all of what Trump is doing. And you're the person responsible, so I'm asking you, and you're saying that you're going to further cover that up. Okay, duly noted for the American people.
I know, but you're awake. I mean, Senator Dick Durbin looks like he's half asleep.
Yeah, that's because they're all like 98. Anyways, but good questions. And then she says throughout, oh yeah, how about Reid Hoffman, who's a Democratic donor, huh? And how about the flight logs? Right back at you, sister. You said there was no Epstein clients. So why are you talking about Reid Hoffman? Why are you talking about the flight logs? If there was no clients, why are the flight logs relevant? Because I think there are clients, I think they are Democrats and Republicans, and I think you're covering it up.
100%.
So it's kind of ironic when you go, look at the flight logs and Reid Hoffman, and look at all these Democratic clients that don't exist. Okay, gotcha.
So Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, another Democratic senator, also grilled Attorney General Pam Bondi, specifically in regard to the hundreds of suspicious activity reports, also known as SARS, related to Jeffrey Epstein's bank accounts, which of course were sent over to the DOJ. Once again, even in this line of questioning, she appeared to get a little defensive.
How many of those Treasury SARS did you or Director Patel investigate?
Senator, I'm not sure if you're concerned because you took money, I believe, did you, from Reid Hoffman, one of Epstein's closest confidants, not only once, but twice in 2018 and 2024, if that's correct. But Senator, did you ask Merrick Garland any of this over the last 4 years when he sat before you? This investigation has been going on. This investigation was closed. Did you ask Alex Acosta that?
And Patel came to office, you said you would look into this. There were hundreds of suspicious activity reports. Some people would deduce from the fact that they are called suspicious activity reports that there might be suspicious activity. And yet you seem to have looked at zero of those suspicious activity reports involving Jeffrey Epstein accounts.
While I have no love for Merrick Garland, just keeping it 100, Merrick Garland didn't spend months dangling the Epstein files above voters and just trying to entice people with the potential release or the impending release of the Epstein files. Pam Bondi, though, that's a completely different story. Kash Patel, though, that's a completely different story. They were the ones who were enticing Republican voters with the possible release of the Epstein files should they have these positions of power. Now they find themselves in these positions of power, and what are they doing? Okay, what are they doing? Embarrassing themselves in these hearings? And by the way, I can't stand the partisan brain nonsense. Oh, but what about the Democrats? They didn't release it. Okay, yeah, you're right, they didn't release it. Two wrongs don't make a right. You now find yourself in this position of power. Why are you part of a cover-up?
Yeah, so I was gonna quote one of our members, Embedded Dude on TYT.com, who said pretty much the same thing. We don't have to release the files because Biden didn't release them, so there, case closed. No, if Biden was wrong for not releasing the files, logic would indicate you should release the files even more, not less. So you see how wrong Biden was for not releasing the files, so that's why we're doing the same exact thing. What? And did you notice who she blamed there? Why didn't you ask Alex Acosta?
I would love to have an interview with Alex Acosta.
I would too. Let's talk about something that drives every business owner absolutely crazy: trying to hire the right people. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You post a job and you flood it with resumes, but most of them don't have the right skills or experience. It's a huge hassle, honestly, but not with ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter finds amazing candidates for you, and they do it fast. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/TYT. Now here's why it works. The moment you post your job, their smart matching technology gets to work. It's not just sitting there waiting for people to find it and apply. It's actively searching and identifying top qualified talent that fits your role. It sends them your way, and then it does the hard part of the hiring for you. But don't worry, you're still in full control. If you find a candidate you like, ZipRecruiter allows you to send a personalized invite to apply message. It eliminates the waiting game and gets the right people to engage with your job posting sooner rather than later. So ditch the other hiring sites and let ZipRecruiter find what you're looking for, the needle in the haystack. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at the exclusive web address ZipRecruiter.com/TYT. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/TYT. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Oh wait, who was Alex Acosta labor secretary for? Oh right, President Trump. Why don't you ask Alex Acosta?
Well, there's more from White House because later in this hearing, he brought up some of the alleged photographs featuring President Donald Trump. He wasn't president at the time, of course, but Trump, photos of Trump in Epstein's possession. Take a look at that.
There's been public reporting that Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. Do you know if the FBI found those photographs in their search of Jeffrey Epstein's safe or premises or otherwise? Have you seen any such thing?
You know, Senator Whitehouse, you sit here and make salacious remarks, once again trying to slander President Trump left and right, when you're the one who was taking money from one of Epstein's closest confidants, I believe, I could be wrong, correct me, Reid Hoffman, who was with Jeffrey Epstein on multiple occasions. And the senator sitting right next to you tried to block the flight logs from being released. Yet you're grilling me on President Trump and some photograph with Epstein? Come on.
If we're gonna play this game, Howard Lutnick was Epstein's next door neighbor and apparently had a nice cozy relationship with Epstein as well. This is such a nonsense way of handling a situation in which a man, along with his disgusting groomer recruiter girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, who Trump was asked about pardoning again yesterday, and he's like, I have to look at it. You have to look at it? You have to look at it? You have to look at it. You already moved her to like the Club Med of prisons.
You know what's amazing?
These people are so disgusting.
Even Laura Loomer's like, bro.
Don't even bring up that disgusting hag.
No, I know, but like she's like, don't move, like don't partner her, and she's like, you'll blow our cover. Okay, she didn't add that part. I'm interpreting that. Notice another Reid Hoffman reference. I thought there were no clients, Pam. Okay.
Who cares? I'll Reid Hoffman too. I don't care.
We don't care at all.
I want justice. I want to know how many pedophiles are running the government. I want to know how many powerful people who happen to be, I don't know, judges actually end up to be disgusting perverts who probably shouldn't be in that position of power. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know.
But in essence, she's saying, I'm not just covering up Republicans who are on Epstein's list. I'm also covering up Democrats who are on Epstein's list. You must be so proud,
No
Pam.
one asked for it.
Yeah, well.
The perverts probably did.
There is one organization that asked for it. Anyways, you mentioned the Howard Lutnick. Interestingly, a twist, video B5 here, Senator John Kennedy, a Republican, also asked about Lutnick. Let's watch.
Commerce Secretary Lutnick goes on to say, quote, that's what his MO was. You know, get a massage. And what happened in that massage room, I assume, was a video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever, blackmailed people. That's how he had money, end quote. Is that true?
Senators, our July memo said we did not uncover evidence. This case has gone through 3 administrations, as well as former U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta.
I know that, Pam. But have you interviewed Secretary Lutnick?
No, Senator.
Do you plan to?
If he wants to talk to the FBI or the FBI wants to talk to him, that is more than on.
Don't you think you ought to talk to him after this interview?
Senator, if Howard Lutnick wants to speak to the FBI and if Director Patel wants to speak to Howard Lutnick, absolutely.
Okay. Maybe we ought to get Mr. Lutnick in here too, Mr. Chairman.
Oh God, Pam Bondi disgusts me. Absolutely freaking disgusts me. You're a woman and you are providing cover for one of the most well-known and widespread perverts, pedophiles, sexual predators on the planet. And oh God, these people disgust me, all of them. All of the people who are part of this cover up, Democrat, Republican, I don't care. They are not fit to serve this country in any capacity.
So she said over and over again, you saw it in that clip too. You know, this case has gone through 3 different administrations. Yes, Pam, but who's in charge now? Okay, if you want to blame the other administrations, great. Sign me up, okay? But they're not here anymore, you are. So what you're actually saying is, I agree with the previous administrations who covered it up, and I'm covering it up along with them. That's not the win you think it is.
I would like to go to the final video here because, usually when you're cornered, usually when you don't have any real answers or any way of defending yourself, you lash out and start attacking people. And that's what our Attorney General did during this hearing. Take a look.
Senator, I would be more concerned if I were you when you talk about corruption and money that when you pushed for legislation that would subsidize your wife's company. I wish you loved Chicago as much as you hate President Trump. You're sitting here grilling me and they're on their way to Chicago to keep your state safe.
Madam Attorney General, it's my job to grill you.
Did you take money from Reid Hoffman, campaign donations, who was a huge Epstein friend?
What became of the OPR investigation of prosecutorial misconduct by Emil Bovee?
Yeah, Senator Whitehouse, to correct you for one moment, that would be the Honorable Judge Emil J. Bovee III to you. I'm not going to be lectured to you about integrity
topic,
by
someone that you will review
who lied about being in the military just to be elected a senator.
Hurt dogs holler. That's my final word on that.
My final word on that is, if you're going to mention Reid Hoffman about 28 times, why don't you investigate him? I mean, he's a Democrat, you hate him, you've brought it up 100 times. You tell me that there are no Epstein clients, but then you seem to be implying very heavily that Reid Hoffman is one.
Yep.
Good news, you're the Attorney General. And you're a Democrat, so there would be, I mean, he's a Democrat and a big Democratic donor, and you're a Republican, so there would be no downside for you, right, Pam? Isn't it super weird that you're not even investigating him? And of course, the reason she's not is because she's not investigating anyone. And she's never going to, because she doesn't work for us. She works for whoever organized the Epstein saga. I know no one organized it, no one participated, there were no clients, and we're supposed to believe this? Nah, everybody's getting caught. It's a whole new day in America. You could try this BS for the rest of your life. But every time she goes out there to speak, people not forget the left and independents. We already were clear on Pam Bondi. More and more MAGA despises her.
How could you not? I mean, she's obviously part of a cover-up. She's not even good at like defending herself during this hearing. It's just very clear. It's clear as day. So you literally have to be so like in the bag for the Trump administration to just completely ignore what's slapping you right in the face with this hearing.
Yeah, super last thing. If you're MAGA and you're disgusted by her obvious cover-up, you should get to know Pam Bondi. How did she even get into that position? When she was Attorney General in Florida, taking campaign contributions and then dropping criminal cases was Pam Bondi 101. She works completely for the donors. In fact, she was gonna do an investigation of Donald Trump's charity. Trump donated to her, she immediately dropped the case. But it's not just about Trump. There's a million stories just like that. Pam Bondi isn't the Attorney General despite corruption. She's the Attorney General because of corruption, because she's so wedded to corruption.